My NC1 Miata is 20 years old. It is starting to show its age. And since I do daily this car, I notice the little things, like a misfire. Now, an incredibly common problem on the NC1s are these. This is a coil pack pigtail, and what it does is it goes from your wiring harness into your coil packs, which then goes down into your spark plugs, and that's kind of how your engine works. On the early model NC1s, these wires will harden up, they'll crack, and the wires will split inside of the wire shielding, which you can't see it, but you will feel it. For the past few days, I've experiencing intermittent misfires on this car. I'm not getting any codes. The car's running okay at higher RPMs and highway speeds, but cruising through a parking lot, it feels like a cylinder goes down. So while this is a cheap option to replace these, that's what I'm gonna do first. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to do it. I picked up this kit off Amazon for just $20, link in the description. First, we're gonna take off the engine cover. You can see how hard the wiring harness is on this shot. Everything felt like it was plastic. But we're gonna remove all of the wiring plugs from the coil packs here. It's a pretty tight area to work in, but it's definitely doable. I'm taking a pair of snips here and cutting away the old wiring covers. These were really, really hard. They felt like plastic, and this was honestly the hardest part of doing this. It was just getting all of the old tape out of the way. But once you get it all off, you'll be able to separate most of the wires, and it's probably gonna break apart like you can see here. But once that's done, you can move on to the next part. With our wires all separated out, start one wire at a time, snip it, strip it, and then use the butt connectors to slice onto the end of the OEM harness, and then attach the corresponding wire from the plug into the same wire that came out of the OEM plug. And then crimp on the other end of the new plug. Repeat this process for the other three wires. Just snip, strip, and attach your butt connector, and then attach the new plug's wiring. This isn't gonna look like the prettiest thing, but knowing that all your connections are secure are the most important here. And then I used a lighter to heat shrink the ends of the butt connectors. I'd be careful with this, as you could melt the wires. And then finally tape everything up so it's weatherproof. So it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll end up kind of matching each other at the end. I left the leads long off the new plug, but it plugs in just fine. I plugged all the rest back in just to make sure that the car was running correctly, no misfires at idle. So this one is good to go. Now I just need to do the rest. We've got our old coil plug out, and the wires they're hard as a rock. They don't even move, they don't wiggle, they feel extremely brittle. And like I mentioned, you're not gonna really know where the fail point is. It could be up close right at the connector. It could be midway down the wire behind the shielding. You don't really know. So cut off as much as you can to then use your fresh new wires on. This is about how much I cut off, so you can kind of tell the difference there. But pretty easy to do, just a lot of cutting. And all of this old shielding that used to be electrical tape is just, you can hear it cracking. It's just brittle, broken, disgusting. So this is good maintenance. It's gonna be tough to film the entire process because my camera keeps overheating because it is so hot outside. So I'm gonna knock these out as quickly as I can, show you guys the after, and then we'll kind of wrap this video up. Okay, and after a few hours, or I guess 2 hours, taking my time, all of our new coil plugs and pigtails are connected, plugged in, car runs, no issues. It seems smooth, and before I put all of these in, the idle did sound a little weird, almost hesitant. Now it sounds pretty smooth, pretty good. This isn't like a huge difference maker unless your car is misfiring really badly. Mine was like kind of intermittent, and I didn't want to drive the car at the beginning of this video to show you a before, because it just, stuff like that, it really isn't like the best to just drive on. But trust me when I say the hesitation was there in low speeds. So we are gonna test it in this video. I'm gonna wrap everything back up. And they're not the prettiest wiring in the world, but it's connected, it works. I put like some Tessa tape on the outside of the electrical tape to maybe make it look a little bit prettier, I guess. And a lot of people recommend not putting the engine cover back on. It makes sense because a lot of heat gets trapped under there and causes those wires to get brittle very quickly. But I'm gonna put mine back on because I'm trying to keep everything very OEM. Plus it does quiet down your injectors a little bit. So trying to just... All right, just leaving the parking lot after getting some gas, and I think we fixed the issue. The car feels like it's running a little bit smoother. Doesn't feel so like, not that it ever felt jerky. I'm just trying to think of if the car does feel different. And just cruising along in general, feels like nothing is like off, if that makes sense. And I didn't really notice it too much before. It definitely got worse as I owned the car. I've owned it for almost a year now. Well, not even a year, like half a year. So noticing some little things crop up the last few months. One day my DSC and traction control light wouldn't turn off, even doing the steering wheel turning trick and all of that. And went through a whole bunch of different things, but replaced the steering angle sensor today, and luckily that fixed it. It's just old cars. Stuff like this happens. You need to replace the wiring and the coil packs. You need to replace some sensors and things like that. It's just part of owning a 20-year-old car. It pulls nicely. Everything sounds good. One of the other things that I noticed as far as like diagnosing this was, I noticed that all of a sudden the tone of the muffler at idle sounded different. It sounded like it had a little bit of a misfire, which is basically what happens with these. And doing my research, it seems like some people report a check engine light, some people don't. And I never had a check engine light for this. It was just kind of replacing this for $20 and hoping that it fixed it, and happy to say that I think it did. All right, so car's at 15 miles an hour, going about 2100 RPM, and this is where it would bog down, lose power, and you would see me like jerking all over the place. And it seems like everything is running super smoothly. Car sounds good, engine sounds good. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think we fixed it for $20, which I am stoked on. Fix something for 20 bucks is always a good thing, especially when there's something wrong with your car. And it was 3 hours on a weekend to fix this if you have some really basic tools. Good stuff. Good car, good car. So I know this wasn't like a flashy modification video, but the last few videos have been kind of some creature comfort / diagnosing future-proofing problems. You guys have seemed to like those. So I wasn't even gonna make this into a video, but if this can be a resource for people who are searching this problem on YouTube or Google or whatever, then I'm glad I could help somewhat. All the more resources out there for Miata owners, the better. And this seems to have fixed my issue. So I am definitely stoked on that. Thank you guys for watching. As usual, if you are new to the channel, go down below, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.